Eric Bakker, the naturopath. Thanks for coming back, looking at my channel. Let's talk about something really important today. Something that I wrote about many, many years ago, and a practice I put into place in my clinic a long time ago when I started to get really serious with wanting to really help people get better, but particularly to give people tools. I've developed quite a few different handouts, and over time I'll be releasing more and more of these on YouTube and to my subscribers. One of the things I wrote about in the book Candida Crusher was called the Candida Symptom Tracker. Now this is a very, very important piece of information for me to share with you guys. What I've always found interesting is when patients come to see me, they want to get better. But how the hell are you going to track the progress? How are you going to work out if the patient's actually getting better or worse? How are you going to know if you put a protocol into place, let's say in a 4-month, in a 16-week period? If you work with a patient to put a protocol into place to help them recover, and there's a lot of ups and downs, a few weeks down the track they're feeling worse, and then maybe 3 or 4 weeks after they're feeling better. How can we actually gauge the response? How can we make sure that what we're doing is in line with the patient's desire to get really, really well? So I developed something called the Symptom Tracker. It's something I've not seen before. I've not seen other clinicians do it. I've never seen medical doctors work like this, or any other naturopaths, or in fact any other healthcare professionals. So I think you're going to find this quite a unique concept, but if you really do it properly, as I've instructed in the book, you're going to get an incredible outcome, because you'll finally be able to work out if the money that you're spending on treatments, i.e. consultations, products, whatever you're doing, if that money that you're investing in your own health, is it actually paying off or is it not? So, we call this return on investment, or ROI. So ROI is very important for investors, entrepreneurs, people like that. So people who want to get ahead and want to know that if they put $50 down today, that's going to be well spent down the track. And that's what the Symptom Track is all about. It's not about spending money. It's about getting you in a position where you're going to finally get really optimistic, and there's been a lot of encouragement because you can see that you're getting better on paper. Okay, so now I'm going to explain how it works. Now I've got a crappy printer, so it doesn't look too good, but this is the Symptom Tracker. The Symptom Tracker basically is one sheet of paper, and it tracks your progress or lack of it over a 4-month or 16-week period. Every 2 weeks, I'd like you to, have a look at this sheet and then make the adjustments on it according to what's happening in your life. So if we look at the complaints down the left-hand column, we've got one long column that's basically vertical, and we've got all sorts of symptoms on there. Let's say we've got about 30 different symptoms on there. And then we've got, to the right of that, we've got the horizontal lines. And at the top, we've got the date. Okay, we've got the dates running across the top. So it's very, very important that every 2 weeks when you work on this, you put the date in there. And then you're going to score. So every single symptom I've got on this sheet here can be scored 0, 1, 2, or 3. So 0 is not a problem. You don't really experience that problem yourself. 1 is, it's a mild problem, something you may experience every now and then, but it doesn't really bother you too much. The third one, choice, is the moderate. Okay, so it's a moderate problem. It annoys you, but it's tolerable. You could be experiencing it several times a week. It's a pain, but you can sort of live with it, but it's, it's not good. And then of course the fourth selection, or the major problem, this is likely what drove you to my channel, or drove you to, getting the book Candida Crusher, or drove you to asking questions. This is the problem that annoys the hell out of you. You want this problem gone. This is what we call the main presenting complaint. Okay, now that could be something like lots of constipation or lots of gas. So this is a grade 3 symptom. It could be terrible stomach pain, it could be indigestion, it could be all sorts of things. Now remember, the Symptom Tracker does not necessarily only relate to Candida. The Symptom Tracker can be used for a person with SIBO, small intestinal bowel overgrowth. It can be used for a person with autoimmune disease. It can be used for many different conditions. So take a good look at the Symptom Tracker, because what you'll find is if you put in the time and you start, writing down the scores with the different symptoms as the weeks and months progress, you'll be able to finally see, when you tally up the scores on the bottom, which direction you're heading. Are you feeling better? Then it should reflect in a symptom score reduction. Are you feeling worse? Then that will reflect in a symptom score elevation. When you put a particular treatment plan in place, you can put like a red mark on that column, indicating that, maybe add some further notes that this is when you started to take, for example, the CanZita products, or this is when you started to, for example, drink more water or do diet change. Because what the symptom tracker does is it shows you over a period of time what's happening to you in relationship to what you're doing to yourself in terms of lifestyle and diet. So this is going to be basically a really clever tool for you to use to understand your progress or lack of it. And that's the whole reason I created it, is to give you finally some useful tool that you can use at home every 2 weeks to write it down. Now, some people already do this with their foods, a food diary, but not many people I've ever seen have had anything like this offered to them before. I think it's going to be a very powerful tool, and give me some feedback. And there's plenty more of these tools coming out, so enjoy. Thank you for tuning in.